Hello and welcome to this short video of a debrief of the budget 2021. In this video, we'll be looking at income tax and national insurance. It has already been announced that the personal allowance and basic rate limits will be increased to 12,570 and 37,700 for the tax year 21 to 22. But this is now going to be frozen to 2025 to 2026 tax years. With costs increasing each year, this would result in many people having less disposable income. Lucy, any good news? Has there been an increase in the dividend allowance that I feel is far too low at £2,000 a year?
Sadly, no changes to this tax-free amount and none currently proposed.
Thanks, Lucy. I'm still looking for the positive to liaise with clients. What about the temporary extension to the carryback losses for income tax?
Yeah, this looks to be a good opportunity for struggling businesses, although I'd be concerned if a sole trader had £2 million of losses. Unincorporated businesses will be able to carry back losses arising in the tax years 2021 and 2022 for up to 3 years.
With all the COVID extensions and grants available, will there be that many businesses that have made a loss? Perhaps when these lifelines cease, we will see a large increase in loss-making businesses. With regards to national insurance, no major changes as expected. There was a small increase in the Class 1 paid by employees and Class 4 paid by the self-employed to 9,568 from 9,500 for the 2021-22 tax year. And the upper earning limit increased to 50,270. Class 2 national insurance for self-employed remains at £3.05 a week, and the small profit threshold for self-employed to increase to 6,475 to 6,515. Lucy, are these expected to remain frozen until 2026?
Well, we have to consider that there could be an election before 2026. But I think it's unlikely, if these proposals are enacted, that they'll be unfrozen.
What about pensions? Has the lifetime allowance been increased, or at least continues to increase each year with the consumer price index?
Yes, up until the current year, the pension's lifetime allowance has been increasing each year, but this has now also been frozen until 2026 at £1,073,100.
Thanks, Lucy. So is there any chance in future budgets of the personal allowances being increased?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
As always, wait and see. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Lucy. I'm just thinking that our annual tax planning is going to be pretty similar moving forward, maybe even for the remainder of my working life.
That's a frightening thought, but your annual calculation of the annual payroll sums won't be needed after this April for some time.
Well, interestingly, Pip actually only asked me about 15 minutes ago if I could do next year's. But setting the salary is the first pillar of directors' income tax planning scenario to ensure that we fully utilise the personal allowance, all depending on how many people work in the company. After that, it's seeing if we can use up all of the basic rate band.
Not forgetting to pay a dividend of at least £2,000 if they own shares, and then if possible, the rest of the basic rate band at 7.5%.
Yeah, I thought that the dividend rates might go up a couple of percentage points each at basic and higher rate to collect extra money. But of course, that would be increasing a rate and the Chancellor's not allowed to do that.
I suppose that our biggest challenge will be trying to help those who've drawn income out on a needs must basis but haven't got reserves due to the pandemic to cover them with dividends. Salary is an awful lot more expensive in terms of PAYE deductions and pretty final, leaving them with even more of a deficit to cover with dividends before dividends can be paid.
Yeah, as much as we don't like it as a firm, we might need to be doing loan account planning until things get better. But of course, there are risks attached to that, and particularly so if things don't get better. So if you are in such a situation, you ought to come in and talk to us and talk it through with us sooner rather than later.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nick, Craig, Graham. That draws to a close our income tax video. Please take a minute or two to look at our other videos for planning advice, as well as budget measures. But if you do have any specific concerns about income tax and national insurance, please do get in touch with me or your usual Lambert Chapman contact.